I call the February 1st, 2018 Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting to order. Commissioner Castlen, would you lead us in a prayer and the pledge?
I will. Dear Heavenly Father, we pause for a moment and we thank you for the many blessings you bestowed on us as individuals and as a community. We ask you to bless our citizens and watch over all of those, especially those most in need. We ask you to bless, send your holy angels and protect those first responders who serve the public. And Lord, we just ask you to bless us as we conduct the business of the county, that what we do might be pleasing to you. We pray this in the name of Jesus, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner, and I want to welcome everyone in our audience, all two of you, as well as those who are watching the this broadcast on TV, to our February 1st, 2018 meeting. Jenny, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Consideration for presentation, A, Treasurer's Report for December 2017.
Mr. Hendricks.
Cash balance of December 31st of $27,855,679. General fund balance is $10,119,641. 6 months through the fiscal year, all funds are performing as within the expected range.
Commissioners, any question or comment for the treasurer? This report is on file in fiscal court offices. Anyone that wants to take a look at it, you're welcome to come and view it. Next item.
Item 2, consideration for approval, A, minutes of the January 18, 2018 court meeting.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Commissioners, you've all had a copy of the minutes in your possession sometime. Any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
B, all claims for all departments.
Motion approved.
Second.
Again, I have a motion and second to pay all the bills due and payable by Daviess County Fiscal Court. You've had a copy of those in your possession for a while. Any questions of the treasurer? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
C, Employee Assistance Program Service Agreement.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Mr. Hendricks, would you talk to us about this? You don't have to if you're not prepared to.
I thought Jenny said I could do it.
Okay, well, I can do it because since I read it, but go ahead.
She said there are no changes to the prior year. It's a 1-year agreement.
And the assistance is to employees who may have personal issues that they need counseling.
Yes, sir. As a benefit, we provide them counseling services. There's a fixed number that they may obtain, a number that's confidential, and it's just one of the benefits that's provided for employees.
I think the cost was at what, $22 per member, and that also includes their immediate family, if I'm not mistaken. It's not a bad deal. I would encourage any folks that are in our employment circle that if they need that assistance, check with our HR department.
It's a good program because oftentimes, especially if someone's first time,
yes,
when they need that service, they really don't know where to go or where to start. And this opens the door. It's very easy. You just make a telephone call and you.
And it's anonymous. It's anonymous. Okay. Any other question or comment by the commissioners? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
D, contract with AEI for engineering services regarding Drury Road, Pence Road, and Jackson Road North.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Mr. Brasher, would you talk to us about these 3 contracts and why it is that engineers always take care of their own by, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yes, sir. If you recall, a month and a half ago, we signed an agreement with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for the 80-20 bridge program. For their portion was of the 80% was, I believe, $67,200, something in that range. Well, this is we finally got the contract from the Highway Department finalized. This is the agreements for American engineers to actually do the design work that money is going to. If you recall, we had 4 bridges that were a part of our contract with the Highway Department. It comes to find out that one of those bridges is actually being proposed for the highway department to design and build. So we are not going to proceed with that contract for design and build out of our money. That's why you only have 3 contracts in front of you. Of these 3, we are anticipating that 1, if not 2 of these bridge structures will be replaced with a very large pipe, which will make it a considerable amount cheaper.
We will know that at the end of the engineers.
We will know that early on.
Okay.
That's why you'll see on these contracts, there's 2 numbers. One is to do a full bridge design and advertise. The second number is just in case they determine that it can be replaced with a pipe, that we're not going to be paying that extra bridge design work. If there's any other questions, I'd be glad to answer. If not, I'd recommend approval.
When you say 80/20, we get $100,000 to go toward bridge replacement a year. We can bank it up to what, 3 years?
I think 3 to 4 years, yes.
Yeah, and we decide we've got 300,000 in the bank.
We've got approximately 240. They bank
Yeah,
80, they
that's
expect us to pay
correct.
20.
So of that, 80% would be 240,000. We'll have to come up with 60, and I think to get $300,000 worth of work done for 60,000, I can take enough out of Charlie's road fund to cover that this coming. No, anyway. Commissioners, questions, comments? Yes, sir.
One question, does AEI determine whether it's gonna be a bridge or a culvert?
They do the hydraulic analysis. There's certain standards that we go through, depending on the type of road, rural, low ADT. You want to be able to pass a 10-year event, so they'll model. That's where most of this money comes from, or goes to, is the modeling. They'll survey it, they'll model it, HEC-RAS model, and determine if a pipe can be big enough to handle that amount of water or not overtop the
Do we
road.
then take that to the Corps Division of Water?
They handle the permitting, so they get their models. We send it to the Corps Division of Water, make sure that they're okay with our results, and we get a permit, and that allows us to proceed on.
If a pipe is needed, if that's what the hydraulic study shows, then they will make that recommendation, and all the information, it'll go to the proper regulatory authority.
Yeah, regardless of pipe or bridge, they'll do the permits with the Division of Water and
So
Corps.
is our goal then the first choice would be a culvert?
Well, the model.
Second choice would be a bridge?
Yeah, the model is same for both, but going to a pipe, considerable amount cheaper, plus the maintenance, plus in 20 years, 30 years, the replacement is just buying another pipe versus having to remodel and redesign for a bridge.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
3, consideration for discussion, A, other business to be brought before the Daviess County Fiscal Court. I know of none.
Okay, next item.
B, public comments.
Public comment. This is the time during which we invite the public to come forward, identify themselves at the podium, and you're welcome to speak on anything other than what was on the agenda, just so that Joshua? I don't, who? Jacob?
This
Jacob?
guy?
Why is it I
Jacob.
want to keep calling you Josh? I knew one. So that Jacob will have something to write about. Gentlemen, I was called by a person today that wanted to discuss medical marijuana and whether or not the fiscal court would be interested in doing, as the city suggested perhaps, pass a countywide ordinance supporting the passage of a medical marijuana bill in the House and the Senate. And in my conversation with the gentleman, I said that I did not believe there was will on the court to support us passing that sort of not a regulation, but he was wanting us to write a letter of support. Of course, he made his arguments. I reminded him that I was on the Alliance Against Substance Abuse in Owensboro and Daviess County. Commissioner Colger, you're on that same alliance. I would think that you probably have the same position that I do. Many of the other folks here also have been associated with substance abuse here in this community from the standpoint of what it does to our families. And I said I didn't think that there was any will to do that. He reminded me that our responsibility was do the will of the citizens, and I reminded him that he was one. What I would support, and I don't think it takes any action by the court, but I told him I would support, there is a House resolution that passed with great support out of the House back last week, which asked that our federal delegations look at asking the federal agencies to look at the efficacy and the safety of medical marijuana, which in effect says go through the proper channels just like all the other drugs do. And I said we would support that. I don't believe he liked that we would just support that and not the sale across the counter. So anyway, I wanted to let you know that. I wanted to give you the opportunity if you have feelings contrary to what I expressed, because I don't want to talk to you, but I think in my I don't want to speak for you, but I think in my comments with all of you that pretty much would sum up the sense of the court. Anybody have something that they would like to say to the contrary? Next item.
Comments by Daviess Fiscal Court.
Commissioner Castlen.
Pass.
You've got to say something. We're trying to make this meeting last.
Well,
Tell
I'm
us
just
about
glad
the-
I'm
tell
just
us-
glad your voice returned to you.
Tell us about the once in 35-year blue moon, blood moon.
Well, I posted on Facebook, and you were supposed to read it.
Nobody reads that.
Well, I didn't read it either.
Okay. What did you think? Did you see it?
I did see it.
I went outside yesterday morning.
Was it cloudy, and you didn't see anything?
No, I just didn't see it. I was too down low. I was in a hall.
Oh,
room
okay.
tennis. And maybe that moon.
Oh, I
doesn't-
thought you wasn't home yet.
No, I was home. Well, I wasn't home. I was in Tennessee. Mr. Coger?
Pass.
I'm sitting here trying to, what else can we think of? Okay, Commissioner Walden.
I have no desire to extend the length of this meeting,
All right, just a couple things, guys.
so I pass.
This is going to be the first time and the last time I'm going to say this. As you all know, filing deadline hit Tuesday. This entire fiscal court is running. We do not allow, and this will be the last time I say anything or allow anything to be said at fiscal court, we do not allow any campaigning at fiscal court. If you show up pushing a candidate, campaigning as a candidate, I will very politely ask you to refrain. Just can't happen. That's number one. Number two, we don't allow campaigning on the courthouse grounds, in the courthouse parking lot. Not allowed. Or in any vehicle or other equipment belonging to the county. That's correct. And also in that vein, we do not allow any solicitation on the courthouse grounds and or in the building of the courthouse. Now, some people, I've had a conversation just recently with some people, and they thought that wasn't right, that this one person had been soliciting business in the courthouse for years. And I said, well, that's just like me finding out that you were printing money and you've been doing it for 20 years, and now that I know, I got to report you, I got to stop it. So we do not allow solicitation. I can tell you that when I first came to the courthouse as judge, we had somebody coming through the courthouse selling some items, and we even had a freezer downstairs that we held those items for everybody that would buy from them. And then when I found out, I said, that stops. We still got the freezer, but nothing goes in it. This is a public building, and it's here for the public use and for public purpose. It's not here for commercial use or for commercial purpose. So I just wanted to get that out there. Let me say this, I want to thank all those folks who have put themselves forward in a race, and tell them how appreciative the entire community is that they would be willing to give of their time, talent, and treasure to do that. So if there's no other business to be brought before Daviess County Fiscal Court, without exception, we're adjourned.